Good morning, good evening, good whatever time it is. Welcome to another exciting webinar, Patakazi webinar right here. And as usual, let me just take 1 second to just make sure we are live on everything. So we're not talking, and then I find I'm talking to myself. Yeah, I will be bad. So we are live on YouTube. Check. Let me check if we are live on Facebook. Yes, we are live on Facebook. On Facebook, and then let me make sure we are live on LinkedIn, so that wherever it is you are watching us, that you are catching us live. And of course, send all your questions. Let's get to yes. I've confirmed that we are live on everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And let me introduce my brother from another mother. Hassan, how are you?
Hey, bro, Bonnie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Where are you right now? I know you're usually based in Dubai. You're in Bahrain right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in Bahrain right now for a project,
Mhm.
so I'm here for a couple of months.
Ah, awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's start with you. Introduce yourself for those who don't know you. Tell them a little bit about HT Crew and yeah, all the awesome things about yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm the founder and CEO of Human Transformation Crew. We're a management consulting, training and development, and coaching organization. What we actually work on is organizational design and development, which is a new venture in the HR fraternity. I've been across. I've my network expands with the Bonnie to Africa, but we are currently working in the South Asia and Middle East region mostly.
Coach, you are the current holder of the franchise for Disrupt HR. For those who don't know what that is, just touch a little bit of that and the massive, massive networks. I was speaking to someone who reached out, and guys don't understand the kind of network, the kind of HR network that we actually have, and the availability in terms of the jobs and just any kind of position. Just try and explain to guys that network.
All right, so Disrupt HR is basically an information exchange network designed to energize, inform, and empower people in the field of HR. So, what is it all about? So, Disrupt HR is just like TED Talk, but for HR, right? So, once in a while, an event series is born that shakes things up. Disrupt HR is that particular event that once attended, it leaves you inspired. So the platform is 14 speakers, 5 minutes each, with slides rotating after every 15 seconds.
Mhm.
They anybody or anybody can join us. They can teach us, but they have to make it quick. See, so they have to make it quick and streamlined. So if you love it, you'll love it for 5 minutes. If you hate it, you have to bear it for 5 minutes. So no more than for 5 minutes for a speaker. So
Short and sweet.
if you're a CEO, you're a technologist, you're a community leader,
Mhm.
or you're an HR professional
Mhm.
and have something to talk about regarding transformations, talent, culture, technology,
Mhm.
future of work, agile HR, then Disrupt HR is the place. So, apologies for the bad throat.
Ah,
So
sorry. There's a cold which is going around.
yeah, it's awful.
Mm.
So with Disrupt HR, the platform is about 9,000 plus HR professionals
Mhm.
around the world. We
Whoa.
have we have about 261 cities active for Disrupt HR. I hold the license for Bahrain, for Dubai, and for Pakistan. So I conduct events here as well. We would also be launching one in Africa very, very soon. So that's also coming up. And then we've also applied for a city in UK, and we will also going to get UK as well. So that's all about Disrupt HR and its events.
Awesome, awesome. So, for those who may not be familiar, my name is Boni Nyanga, CEO of Mawaida. Now, Mawaida is a marketing agency, communication expert. And you're wondering, what is then a communication expert doing with HR? And that is what birthed Patakazi, because then Patakazi is able to bridge the huge information gap. Because one of the things we learned in terms of the biggest reasons why a lot of people struggle to get jobs in Dubai is because there's a huge, huge information gap between what the recruiters are looking for and where the candidates are at. Okay. And that gap is so huge that everybody thinks they are actually okay. Okay. The recruiters think are wondering what's wrong with you people. Why don't you know these basic things? And the candidates on the other side are thinking, well, I've done TVs, I'm already a professional in this area, I've been in this space for a long time. But there's so much information that guys out there don't have. And that is why we started Patakazi Dubai. This webinars, of course, is part of it. We are also doing coaching and training programs, which is one thing I really, really encourage people. Sign up for our evaluation interviews because that's really the beginning. That's a baseline. Because once we bring you in, we interview you, you will be shocked by the results. And a lot of times there's one thing we always say. Also, our good friend William Stenhouse from the UAE Africa Networking Group, who's also another partner of ours, just to help get this message all over the place. And one thing we always say is people don't know what they don't know, you know. And the idea is there is a gap. So not only do you have an information gap, but you are unaware of that gap. And the best example I can give is a truck. An 18-wheeler truck. One of the biggest reasons why 18-wheeler trucks have accidents is because they have blind zones. So when the driver is sitting on his wheel, there are some areas that the driver cannot see. But the problem is the other drivers think this person can see. And so what happens is a lot of the accidents that happen is because of that blind zone. And so the idea is when it comes to looking for jobs in Dubai, there's a huge, huge information gap that is there. And unfortunately, most candidates don't know that they don't know. And so this is what ends up happening. And I've met so many Kenyans, Africans, Pakistanis, everybody in Dubai who just keeps sending CVs. They just keep sending their CVs. They get called in for an interview. They do a nice interview. After that, guys are like, "Don't call me, we'll call you." You know, and it is so frustrating going round and round and round and round and round and round. But Hassan, you have probably conducted more interviews than me. What's your experience? What's the percentage of people who even get 50% of what you're looking for?
Uh, from the markets that you have talked about, hardly 10%, 12%. And let me tell you the reason why. I'll share one of my top five reasons of why people from our particular regions don't qualify for a particular job, and apart from the nationalization factor, emiratization or Saudization, so it's irrespective of that. One is no online visibility.
Mm,
Over 90% of the recruiters are using LinkedIn,
mhm,
and to see candidates what their online presence is, what they post, what they are doing, because every recruiter wants that whoever I find has to be culturally aligned with the organization.
mm,
That they gauge that from, right?
mm,
So no profile, or I mean
mhm,
less active profile means
mhm,
you're missing the opportunity.
mhm,
Even if even on LinkedIn, if you apply for a job, they will go to your profile, check your profile.
mhm,
If they can't see anything that excites them, they'll just move on.
mhm,
The second thing is market misalignment.
mhm,
People apply blindly,
mhm,
right? And in
mhm,
in many of the interviews that I've been through, or officially and unofficially,
Mm,
all of them say, I apologies, I need a job, I can do anything.
mm.
I mean,
Oh
what do
my
you mean
goodness.
by, I mean, what do you mean by, do you want to do anything? Anything covers
Mm,
anything, right?
anything.
Anything. So you
At
see,
the
you
same
have to
time.
be very specific. You have to be
Woo.
very specific.
Mhm,
I'll share a study with you in the MENA data LinkedIn. In
mhm.
2024, 45% of the applicant applied to roles they were not even qualified to do, or not
Ah,
even experienced to do. They think that if I apply, they will at
mm,
least call me. Nobody will
mm,
call you,
mm,
right? Because you see, GCC as a
mm,
whole is a hub for international market. You are
mm,
competing with at least 100, nationalities out there.
mm,
So you have to make your mark, right?
mm,
And with no online visibility, like I said, the most important thing is then unrealistic expectations.
mm,
Many of the job
mm.
speakers demand 30% to 50% higher than the market average without even having a UAE experience, right? The fourth thing is a
Mhm,
generic CV.
mhm,
Recruiters spend a minimum of maximum of 8 to 10 seconds, but let's do 6 to 8 seconds scanning a CV. If they see in the first 5 seconds that your
mm,
CV is not targeted, they will just
mm,
put it on the side. That's it,
mm, mm,
right?
mm,
The last and the most important thing that we do, that we don't do or we don't look into, is networking. Over
mm,
70% of the jobs in the MENA region, in the GCC region, are filled through referrals and internal network.
mm,
But with all of that said, the
mm,
most important thing is, what is your personal brand?
mhm.
So you need to create that personal visibility, your brand of who you are, to showcase someone that this is what I am, this is what
Mm.
I want to do, these are my capabilities. A
Wow.
snapshot, a short snapshot of who you are, right? Even if you want to work in security, you want to work in
Mm,
IT, you want to work in
mhm,
sales, you want to do marketing, you want to do trainings, you want to do
mm,
credit card sales, or any product sales or technical things, or whatever you want to do,
mhm,
the other person is interested who you are.
mm,
That who you are, if
mhm,
that is established,
mhm,
then even if you don't land a job on your first opportunity, that individual might refer you somewhere else
mm.
that can land you
Okay.
a job, right?
Okay.
So for example, when I came to Dubai
Mhm,
about 2 years back,
mhm,
I was a person in HR,
mm,
right? So people used to ask me, in HR, what do you do?
mm,
So I said, okay, I do HR and OD. No, 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 no. What in HR and OD is your
mhm,
actual specialty,
mhm,
right? So we imagine that with 20 years of experience or 21
mm,
years of experience,
mm,
nobody wants a jack of all. Everybody is looking for specialists,
mhm.
because
Specialist.
now because now the market is revolving around specialists,
Mhm,
right? So you have to be you have to be uh, catered into something which is known as a specialist. So what is your
mm,
specialty? And then
mhm,
don't confuse yourself with this for a specialist on how low a job or how high a job is.
mm,
Specialist can be a manager, can be a senior manager level as well,
mhm,
but that position, that job defines who you actually are
mm,
and what job do you do.
mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So Amina Rigmi, let me put up her question. And Amina Rignim. I hope I'm reading him. Hope I'm pronouncing the name right. He's saying, how is 5 to 8 seconds realistic to figure out if a person is qualified? What exactly do you look for in 8 seconds. Three, four. Wow. Uh-huh. Hello. Oh, sorry, sorry. Oh, you muted.
Sorry. So,
Mm.
what was the last that I said?
You are the counting. Once you put up your
Yeah.
fingers, it goes off. Okay.
Okay. So number one is your summary.
Mhm,
Number two is your skills. Number three
mhm,
is your company
mhm,
that you work for. Number four is the total number of years of experience, and number five is your
mhm,
qualification
mhm,
or certifications that you have written. Because
mhm,
nowadays CV is just one page or two page, no
mhm.
more than that. Nobody will read everything, and then
Exactly.
and then I mean, we're actually going to talk about it because most of the CVs being reviewed are done by systems, not
Mhm,
by individuals.
exactly.
So it's all ATS based.
It is. Yes. And I think, and this is one of the, and honestly, the reason why we are doing these webinars, it's just to help everybody understand the inner working of what happens, how HR and experts and how recruiters, what happens inside. Because see, for you, you're on this side sending CVs, sitting down in an interview, but you have absolutely no idea what's going on the back end. And so when you understand that someone literally has 6 seconds to look at your CV, it changes how you write your CV. Yeah? It changes how you present yourself in the interview. It changes all that stuff. And one of the things we're really encouraging guys, please, please, please sign up for our evaluation interviews, because for the first time, this is an interview that's designed for you, to give you a review and to give you a benchmark, to tell you this is exactly how you performed. Because most people will never tell you how you perform. They just, you never be called, you only know when you're successful. You'll never know what you failed. And unfortunately, they won't tell you this, but a lot of HR people just end up laughing. After your interview, they're just laughing because they're just looking at you. They're like, what is wrong with this guy or this lady? And so hopefully you guys can sign up for that evaluation interview. It's an online interview, so wherever you are in the world, we'll sign you up. You'll come in, and then we'll be able to really help you benchmark and to know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Um so someone is asking Liudmila Skutaro, how come HR are still looking at 100,000 CVs when AI already can push the top candidates in seconds on skills? I'm surprised. And I think that's why we're talking about 8 years. Obviously, after the 8 years, pick up once they pick it up, the HR people still have to go through it. But maybe Hassan, you can answer that.
Okay, because tech adaptation in HR isn't just about having the tools. It's
Mhm,
about trust. It's about the mindset, and it's about maturity,
mhm,
right? Many of the companies still rely on outdated systems and lack the right for AI integration, right? But to be honest, some hiring managers still believe that AI is a gut feeling, right? So the irony is that while AI can shortlist in seconds, it's the human reluctance to change that shows that something is slowing it down, right? So for example, we have an ATS based system. The
mhm,
ATS based system, if you don't know how an ATS based system works,
mhm,
and you just and you just present your CV,
mhm,
will it get accepted or rejected? You see, so you need to
mhm,
understand the system. So you see, ATS based systems or application tracking systems, what they do is that they use keywords.
mhm,
So they pick up words from your summary, they pick up words from your skills, they pick up words from your job
mhm,
information that you've given, and they pick up the education things.
mm,
If it matches in 90, 80, 90, 95%, your CV
mm,
is passed through, otherwise it's rejected.
mm. So you
And
must
then
have a 90%. That's a pass rate. Is 90%
yeah,
ATS rate?
obviously, because the point is you have thousands of CVs coming in. All you need
Mm,
is top 10. So you
mm,
can easily do the maths.
mm,
It's not like AI cannot give you the solution. AI can give you the solution, and at the end of every ATS evaluation, you have a complete checklist of
mm,
what happened with every CV. So what the hiring
mm,
manager does is he looks at that summary, and
mm,
if it gut feeling says that no, that I think this CV I need to see, so they pull out that particular CV. They don't
mm,
pull out, right? So ATS system rejects 75% of the CVs not using the keywords that is required for that particular job.
mm,
Number one. Number two, you need to show measurable results. For example, increase in sales by 30%, decrease in cost by this percent, increase in
mm,
profits by this percent.
mm,
So they are using they are actually evaluating, quantifying your work
mm,
of how it will benefit the organization. Then
mm,
keep it to a maximum of 2 pages for a
mm,
mid level. Use professional formats, which is PDF and Word.
mm,
That's the most important.
mm.
Avoid typos.
I told you.
Read it again and again. Use and then avoid you doing
Mm,
grammatical or typing mistakes.
mm,
Don't exaggerate your titles or achievements because background checks are done,
mhm,
right?
mm,
Don't add or don't do irrelevant experiences
mhm,
that do not match the job profile.
mhm,
Number three, no photos, no graphs,
mhm,
no images unless you're in the media or the modeling or the or some other related industry, right? Because
mhm,
ATS does not read images.
mhm,
ATS does not read graphs, and
mm,
ATS does not read graphical images.
mm,
So you have to be very careful on
mhm,
how you are actually developing your CV and making it into something that can benefit you as a
mhm,
first entry point into the organization, because that will show the organization your personal brand. So
mm,
keep it as your portfolio, or as your personal brand.
mm. So there's actually a lot when it comes to CV writing that people need to learn about.
Yeah. There are
Mm,
many organizations around the world, and we are working with one of the top agencies in the UK. They charge, but the the point is they redo your entire CV
mhm,
on what the customer or what the client actually requires.
mm. Okay. Interesting. So I think that covers because we were gonna do CVs, do's and don'ts. But maybe in your experience, what's the worst mistake you've ever seen in a CV? Someone that just makes you shake your head. You're like,
Um, mm, ir, okay, so mostly what I've seen is that irrelevant information
mm,
or exaggerated information. Because
mm,
you see, even if I don't know the sector or I don't know the industry, or let's
mm,
say I don't know a particular job, but
mm,
once you read a CV, you can actually see that they're bluffing.
mm,
So uh, what I said about the ATS is that don't exaggerate your titles or your achievements,
mm,
because they are going to do a background check.
mm,
They need to be very sure who you are, And authenticity is one of the major elements in recruitment in these days.
So I can see there's a good question here. Uh, Mohammed Masiuddin Shajir saying, after following all the you mentioned till now, what could be the other reason for not getting shortlisted? Wow, how much
Uh,
time do you think?
s- uh, uh, Apologies if I sound very rude or not, but
Mm,
there must be someone with a better certification or a better experience or a better exposure or more number of experiences, or it can be a number of things.
um, there are so many, and Mohammed, thank you so much for that. And to be honest, Mohammed, the answer to your question is the reason why we started Patakazi Dubai, because every person is so individual. Every person is they have a unique case. There's a
Yeah.
particular reason why you are not getting shortlisted, and so
So
that's
so
why.
so yeah, but Bonnie, so it can be an internal candidate which already is identified. It can be an overqualification or underqualification. It can be an industry or a culture fit. It can be timing or volume. It can be a weak cover letter or a weak CV.
Mm,
It can be salary misalignment. It can be your online presence does not match your CV. There can be a lot of reasons for that.
exactly. And so, Mohammed, please sign up for one of our evaluation interviews. Let's sit down with you individually, take you through the whole process. We'll take you through the interview, all that kind of a thing, and then we'll be able to tell you particularly what are your problem. It's a diagnostic process. At the end of the day, there's no doctor who will ever prescribe medicine without first, sitting down, interviewing you, possibly taking you for a CT scan, taking you for an MRI, doing a blood test, and then after they have taken you through some kind of evaluation, then they can tell you, oh, by the way, this is what your problem is, and if you're looking for this particular job, these are the things that you need to do. And I think that's one area that people really fail, just trying to get that inside information, and it's not available. And honestly, that's why we started this platform, so that then we can really sit down with all of you guys, and we can really walk that journey with you, so that you know exactly this is my issue, and this is the other areas that I need to work with. But Mohammed, thank you for that question. So things, 5 things you should never do at an interview. Let me tell you, it is sad. It is comical, but almost sad. You know, the things we see in an interview. Oh my goodness! You literally hang your head like this. You're like, seriously, guys, are you serious? So, Hassan, tell me, 5 things you should never do at a job interview.
So for first things first, and everybody would agree with me that you need to do your research on the company. So don't skip the research, but because whoever is b- is better prepped for the interview gets through, right? So it's not how you got in the room, it what makes them stop you in the room. That is what your focus should be, right? And then don't ignore I mean we all have good communication skills, right? We can present ourselves, practice that, but don't ignore body language. Because
Mhm.
55% of the communication is non-verbal. They see your gestures, they see your movement, they see your body, and they analyze of what's going wrong, which comes to my other point, that don't over exaggerate or don't give out false information. Because most of the companies do, even if you get selected, they do reference checks, they do background checks. Even in the GCC, they call back to your home country and the company, and they ask for information.
Wow.
Avoid bashing your past employers,
Mm,
right? Because you have to show excellent emotional intelligence.
Mhm.
Even if you left the job because of a bad manager or bad management, don't tell them what happened,
Mhm.
right? To, don't be emotionally unintelligent. Be
Mhm.
more emotionally intelligent, because what they will see that if he's now sitting here bashing the past company, he might do it when he lands on another interview after working with us. You see, so that's the concept. Then the next is don't be late.
Oh, yes.
Arrive on time. Let's say 5-10 minutes, even if you're early,
Mhm.
that's not a problem, that's a good thing. And then always remember the the time you enter into a room, that's your first impression. Make it worth it.
You don't get a second chance to make a fast impression.
Exactly.
Mhm. Awesome. So, yes. Let's see who else is asking a question here. Let's see who else is asking a question.
I see a very good question here, if you allow me.
Yes.
So Bulidumera is writes that, is it true that ATS also shows if the CV is created or edited by AI?
Mhm.
So not exactly. So the ATS-based application systems can't directly detect if the CV was created or edited in AI. However, what it can do is it can flag over generic or templated answers or language
Mhm. Mhm.
which AI uses, detect keywords, stuffing, and unnatural phrasing, right?
Mhm.
Because the natural flow of how you write and the natural flow of how an AI writes, it's a little
Mhm.
different. Then it evaluates the formatting issues that may arise if you're using an AI based created templates, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that, but what the recruiter may notice that if dozens of CVs look oddly similar, same structure, same buzzwords, or
Mhm.
vague in impact statements, they can suspect AI overuse usage, especially when paired up with weak interview performance, right? So while
Mhm.
ATS doesn't say that it's AI generated, it can highlight the patterns that raises red flags that does not make your CV go forward. But the other point is that use AI. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm not use ChatGPT, use Gemini, use what
Mhm.
deep search or whatever you want to do. But then when you have the information, tailor it as to what you are,
Mhm.
not copy pasting it as what it says,
Mhm.
because
No.
you know yourself better than AI.
Mhm. Awesome. 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 Um, I guess the other thing then we can look into is, and we've already touched on it, personal branding, communication skills is so important. You touched a little bit on what you call the digital branding, which is your online persona, how you put that together, how you structure that. So to touch a little bit on personal branding in terms of your career and your career trajectory, how does personal branding then apply in terms of your like looking at, you started here, you went there in terms of career trajectory?
Hmm. Okay, so you see, with personal branding, the first impression is obviously your LinkedIn profile, because everyone nowadays is glued to LinkedIn, right? Then be clear on your pitch,
Mm-hmm.
who you are, what do you solve, and why should they care. That's important, right? The other things is that in today's market, your CV is no longer the only first impression or the personal brands for you. So your personal brand speaks before you even walk in the room. So how you have curated your CV, how you have curated your cover letter, how you have curated your LinkedIn profile. So that's very important. Communication is basically the delivery system of your brand. So practice your story, be crisp, be confident, be structured. You can even you use the star model, as it's called in the interviews, right? So and then most importantly, be known for something, whether it's strategy, it's creative thinking, it's social impacts, or anything. What you say online is what you stand for, right? So comment on on a relevant posts, write once a month, or you, even if you want, if you don't, but then and stay consistent with your tone. That is what they look at. Because in a very crowded job market, like for example Dubai, skills usually get noticed that what you do, but personal brand gets you remembered, right? It's not about it's not actually about selling yourself, but it's about showing who you are, with clarity and with purpose. So let me give you a very small example. So my personal brand shows that I work in the organizational design and development
Mhm.
uh, arena.
Mhm.
So I used to be I used to do events. I used to conduct events, and then I used to participate into many networking events. Once I got a call from somebody saying, Hassan, I remember you said something about organizational design or something. There is a guy who contacted me who's looking for a person. So do you mind if I share your contact? I said
Mhm.
sure. So what he did was that he shared my contact with that person, and then when we started talking, so he found out that I was the guy with the particular experience that that company wanted for their organization design project.
Mhm. Awesome.
So you see my so how people know me
Mhm.
in the body is two things: OD&D,
Mhm.
disrupt HR.
Yeah. That- So you need to build that brand, and that's what a personal brand is. Yes, I know people will be like, do I need to do a photo shoot? Do I need to design this? And if need be, I mean, if that helps, especially now when it comes to your LinkedIn, your personal brand on LinkedIn, I think that's where now the photo, if you need to do a photo of yourself, if it is, if you're a trainer and maybe there's a photo of yourself training somewhere and then a post about the experience, that kind of a thing. Or so, how can you tell the story of who you are and what you do, and also be, and like what Hassan is saying, be very consistent. Please, guys, if you can pick absolutely nothing from this webinar, this thing of I can do anything, please, out the window.
and what I want people to remember is LinkedIn is not Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, very true.
Right? Right.
Very
So
true.
LinkedIn is a very professional stage and not
Mm,
your personal diary, right?
mm,
So be sure on what you share. And I mean, your family vacation photos or your birthday selfies or controversial rants or random memes, that's not LinkedIn. LinkedIn is
exactly.
about thoughtful comments
Mm,
that build communication, that
mm,
somebody posted something meaningful, you added your thought to it,
mm,
industry trends, your perspectives, career milestones or learnings or trainings
mm,
or
mm,
certifications or insights, right? So always remember that LinkedIn is not Facebook and Instagram. And now
mm,
what's and if you see, so what I did was that when I wanted to shift myself from a job domain into the business domain, even then I remember that I
mm,
did not post anything personal. So what I do is I write thought leadership articles. I create carousels. I create. Um, let's say thought provoking things. Now I have my own channel as well on LinkedIn called the Transformation Hub, in which I post articles on HR or the world of HR or anything. What now people do is people read that,
Mhm.
and then because 90% of the people on LinkedIn have not even met me. They only
Mhm.
know me through what I post,
Mhm.
right? Most of the people, like for example, my article on agile HR. So I
Mhm.
started with agile HR 1.2, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and when I published 4.0, somebody contacted me that I read 4.0. What about 3, 3, 2, and 1?
Mhm.
So you
Wow.
see, people
Mhm.
start connecting with you on what you post and what interests them. Because I do not expect that somebody from the marketing and branding would read my profile or my articles, because for them they're useless.
Mhm.
But for the HR fraternity, it becomes useful,
Mhm.
and that's my domain that I play in. Right?
Got you.
For example, today I was invited for a CIPD event as a speaker.
Mhm.
I was and I met a guy
Mhm.
from a company in Saudi.
Mhm.
We were connected on LinkedIn 7 years back,
Mhm.
and I met him today. And
Mhm.
and when I said I'm Hassan Tirmizi, he said, yeah. I've read your main. You're the guy who wrote that something article.
Mhm.
So you see, now this is creating a personal brand. It's not, if you can understand the point, this is
Mhm.
how you create your own personal brand.
Mhm. Awesome. 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 So, Julia Grace is asking how much does evaluation cost and how can we book it? So, to answer your question, how to book it, email Bonnie at mawaida.com or WhatsApp plus 254 755 622 911. It's up on the screen. So email Bonnie at mawaida.com or WhatsApp plus 254 755 623 911, and we'll definitely set you up for the evaluation. We'll send you material on Pachakazi just so that you also understand how the program works. And then after that, and how the platform works. And then after that, we'll set you up for an evaluation interview, and definitely we can pick it up from there. Because then from there, I mean, then we can know exactly what we're working with, and hopefully we can begin your journey in getting a job in Dubai and the larger GCC generally. So keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. We'll definitely be tackling them. There's someone here who's taking us back to the Amina. It's saying, "What's your advice on tailoring your resume for each job? What is the main thing to tailor on your resume?"
Okay. So first thing that you need to tailor is the summary. That gives a whole picture of who you are. Then the second thing that you need to look into are the skills that you would be writing. The thing actually is that when you're actually developing your CV, when you write the name of the company and how many years were you there with that company, what was your title, and what was your designation, what you do is that when you're telling what you did in it, every single sentence has to be a minimum of 32 to 33 words with one number quantifying of what that job did for the company. So for example, if you're in sales, what was the volume in let's say average volume in a quarter, or let's say that if you were given something to do with finance, how it impacted the company. If you're into audits, because of your audit findings, how it impacted the company, right? So these are some of the things. And then the tone and the focus, because what generally what individuals look into, or what the ATS scans, is that data driven decision making. For example, uses a phrase that fits your experience, or the verbal actions or measurable impact. For example, increased sales by 22%, or decreased cost by 10%, or increased per employee capita by this percent, right? Then skills. Every job requires a particular skill. So once you go through the job description, match the skills that is required in the job, gets reflected in your CV. And I'm not saying to put all of them. Put those that complement based on your job, right? So show them that that you are the one who already they are looking for, while they scan your CV.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're getting a lot of response. Thank you guys so much for interacting with us, making this session a very, very interactive session. Um, Paul Sandy, I think he's in Dubai. On YouTube, he's saying very present here, Boni. Then Shah,
Good old Shah.
good old Shah, no woman, no cry. She's a fan. She's a big supporter of the Patakazi Dubai platform. Saying good to see you guys again with insights and practical advice. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Um, Charlotte, Sha, Charlotte Chelegat,
Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah. Chelegat saying beautiful. The tips are valuable and beautiful. We're so happy. So happy to help you with that. There's a LinkedIn user, it seems to be anonymous, saying Hassan is the best. Definitely, yes, Hassan is the best. He is nothing but the best. Um, there is Zulu here on YouTube is saying, for an accountant final year student seeking for experience in the UAE as an expert, what advice would you provide for one who doesn't have experience? What summary can I include in my CV?
Okay, so if you are somebody from the finance background, so what you need to showcase into your CV is, and I'm giving you something on top of my head, because we haven't met and I don't know exactly what your background is. So use or leverage your coursework, your academic projects, or the internships, or the voluntary or involuntary works that you did, right? To get your CV UAE ready. UAE recruiters prefer conciseness, right? Conciseness, well formatted CVs with no photo, unless and no picture, unless and until they are requesting a very clear summary and the skill that aligns with the job. Start engaging on LinkedIn, post on, start following firms like PwC, Middle East, or KPMG, or Grant Thornton, or let's say Conferry, and all of these organizations. Apply for internships, traineeships, search on Bait, Gulf Talent, Naukri Gulf, LinkedIn. There are a lot of opportunities for fresh graduates, and fresh graduates with a finance background, or with an accounting background, with some experience in taxation, are also what the GCC market is looking into, right? And then I think there is an expat accounting group in UAE. I think it's on, either it's on LinkedIn or Facebook. I don't remember, but do attend their virtual webinars. search on LinkedIn, see who's in the financial space, who's working in which company, try to connect with them, try to network with them, send them a very professional inbox. uh, Most of the people I see, they do reply either with a yes or a no, but yes, people usually do apply.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Someone else has also reached out on email.
So
Mutinda.
so something that came
Yes, yes, yes.
on top, something that came on top of my head.
Mhm.
So your CV summary could do something like, final year accounting student with strong academic foundation in financial reporting, auditing, and tax
Mm,
principle. Um, let's say eager to apply my theoretical knowledge in real
mm,
world settings through internships or entry level roles in the UAE. So something like that. So I mean, and you can also write that, I am known for being, let's say, a problem solver, detail oriented, proficient in Excel or QuickBooks or SAP or whatever software you can write. So you see, with all
mm.
the right words, you can even get your CV noticed by the recruiters.
Much faster, much faster. Definitely. So even the students, yeah, why not get a head start? A lot of this information we are sharing, even people who've been in the business for many, many years on now. So if you're a student, why not sign up for our evaluation interviews? Guys already sending emails, which is good. Bonnie at mawaida.com, or you can WhatsApp our team on +254 755 Please, let's set up an evaluation interview for you. Come in, we'll look at your CV, then we can give you an in-depth report that is more personalized. Right now, of course, we can only handle so many questions, and we'll try and help as many people as we can. But obviously, with the one-on-one sessions, we'll definitely be able to do much, much more. So please,
Yeah,
please, please, guys, sign up for evaluation interview so that then we can. Oh yeah, and Zulu is replying saying thanks. That really helps.
you're welcome.
We're really, really, really glad to be of help. Um, we share because we care, and
Exactly.
the more you learn, the more you earn. So we just get
Exactly.
to help you as much as we can. Um, Arman Salik is saying, I have a teaching. Yes.
Yeah. So, Arman, looking at your question, so Arman is saying that I have a teaching career. If I were to switch for a corporate role, what would be my approach for a job in Dubai? So, with the teaching experience, you can enter into the learning and development space. You can go into HR coordination. You can go into customer success or client relations. You can even become a corporate trainer or a soft skill facilitator. So communication roles. So you see that there are a lot of things, but you need to identify what your strong points are, and
Exactly.
then focus it on what the job requirement actually is.
Mm,
So
exactly. Exactly.
if you want your CV to sound more more corporate. So for example, if you write like, you were preparing lessons planning, for example, you can write that my specialty is program development and delivery. You see, change of words. So like you used to say that, instead of using the phrase, let's say, classroom management, you say team facilitation and stakeholder engagement. So
Exactly.
you see, you have to use the right words to catch the
Oh, man.
the attention of the audience.
I
Sugar
tell
coated,
you.
boss.
I tell you, I tell you. And this is why, and just to give you a preempt, so what we do is once we do an evaluation, then we usually we have a training program that is catered for you, where we now take you in depth into CV development, which is a lot of people, of course, struggle with CV development. A lot of people struggle with personal branding. Communication skills is so important. One of the things that we, for me, because I have a marketing and I have a sales background. There's some things which come so easy to us. Selling yourself, like what we call the elevator, being able to
Yeah,
sell
true.
yourself. And these are things which we train salespeople for companies. But the thing is, the thing they don't tell you in campus is that an interview is actually an opportunity for you to sell yourself, you know? And so,
True.
unfortunately, they don't teach you the skills of how to sell yourself, how to package yourself. Because let me tell you, people really downsell themselves. In fact, half the times when you're doing a lot of these interviews, you're like, do you actually want to get a job, or are you trying to discourage people from giving you a job? Because half the time people sound so desperate, and it's true. You're desperate. You're probably in a very tight situation. But one of the things we usually tell guys when you're selling, don't bring your need, bring your seed. And that may look like a small thing, but people don't care how desperate you are or how many problems you have. They care about how you will solve their problem. You know.
True.
So being able to sell yourself, communicating, packaging yourself, learning how to package yourself, like just those changing the wordings of your CV, and even changing your wordings of presenting yourself. One of the areas that people really flop is when you ask yourself, tell us something about yourself. Oh my goodness. Someone will tell you about how they started this job and then they stopped and then they
No, no,
didn't
no.
like that person. They were really frustrated. And you're like,
The classic is that I can read your name on the CV. You tell me your name twice before you start.
you know,
So he or she who's taking an interview already knows your name. Don't start with my name is this. It's not an essay, or
exactly.
it's yeah. So start with something like my background is this. Start with your
Mm,
background. Start with your domain. Start with your sector. Start with your passion even.
mm. So yeah, so I hope I'm glad guys are saying, yeah, Arman has said awesome, thank you. We are so
Welcome.
we are so happy that at least we're able, we didn't, I mean, we only have 1 hour here. There's only so much we can share, and we'll be doing these webinars every single Monday. So please check out our platforms for this. We'll try as much as we can during these webinars to share as much information as we can, but obviously it's very generic, it's very general. So please sign up for the platform, Bonnie at mawaida.com. WhatsApp us on +254 755 623 911. Let's schedule a one-on-one where we can help you, and we can evaluate you on a personal level, and just walk with you on this journey. So just quickly before we leave, um, what can we? What are the 5 sectors that are hiring in Dubai and in GCC general?
Um, okay. So for what's happening in the GCC, it's one is the tech and digital domains. So AI, cybersecurity, fintech, because UAE is enhancing their digital economy. One is healthcare, logistics and supply chain, hospitality, tourism, real estate, financial sectors. They are looking a lot into the financial sector as well. And one other sector that's rising up is renewable energy that is coming up.
So those are the key sectors. If you are either in that space, or looking to get into that space, that would be great. So I can see Samuel is saying Either any social media or platform we should follow for job in Dubai. Yes. So just follow. Actually, just send me a WhatsApp text. Samuel, send me WhatsApp. Because then we can add you to our broadcast group, and we can be sending you direct messages. Also follow Mawaida Africa on Facebook. Follow Boniface Nyaga on Facebook. Mawaida Africa. Yeah, but I think if you send me a text on WhatsApp, that's the easiest. Then we'll send you all the material on the WhatsApp or email which we had sent. Then from there we can follow up. We can follow up with you, send you materials, anything you need, so that we can be of assistance. So yeah, so guys, we're so happy. Yeah, Caroline Wawero saying very true. She's saying I'm very impressed. Thank you. You're
You're
welcome,
welcome.
Caroline.
Thank you so much.
We hope. I think we've given everybody. Let me just say, let's look through anyone whom we've not answered. I'm looking through the comments. I think we tackled all the comments. Great, Samuel. Okay, great. So Samuel, reach out to us on WhatsApp, and yeah, let's be of assistance. Earlier on, actually before, I can see Jabez Ivan had commented on LinkedIn. He's saying this Dubai job market is no joke. Really connects with what you shared about profile optimization. Anyone else find these HR tips super valuable for navigating our competitive landscape? Thank you very much. Camille Wright said finding a job can feel like navigating a maze. These tips are golden. Yes, it can feel very, very frustrating, and we'll probably need to do a session on just your mental health when you're looking for a job. um, Maybe that's a topic we can handle, because a lot of the times, again, because you're under pressure, maybe you have family obligations, you could have someone who's sick, your rent is due, all these kind of things. For a lot of people who are in Dubai, maybe you're in one job, you don't have another job. Some people even their visa status is not right and they're desperately looking for a job. So it's important for you to be in the right mindset, because if you're in that desperation and you're looking for a job, it actually works against you, you know.
Exactly.
And so there's so much we need to tackle in terms of how we can help you. And definitely Patakazi Dubai is right here. We're going to be here every Monday with our webinar, and also you can join our platform so that we can help you.
and
um
and if you have anything in mind that you want us to talk about, please feel free to share your mind with us, and then we can talk about that particular topic that you're interested in.
Exactly. Um, Already there's someone, Mpala Buloza Ndol Ndofu. I'm not sure. Mpala. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. He's talking about, what about supply chain people?
Yes, chain is a very growing market. Like as I said, supply chain and logistics is the arena in which GCC is expanding into.
Exactly. And if you know anything about Dubai and the larger GCC, they're really positioning themselves as a global hub
Yeah.
for business. So definitely anyone who's in logistics, supply chain, um, is an area for you to really look into. Maketha Motari, Maketha Mosoari, saying very insightful. We are so happy. We are happy to be of use. Um, Kagwanja, the realtor, is saying great, insightful. Boniface Nyanga, thank you very much. Um, Meron saying, would it be possible to share the links here Definitely, definitely. I'm not sure what links you mean, but just reach out again. Reach out to Meron. Reach out. Email Bonnie at maweva.com or WhatsApp +254 755 623 911. We'll share any other links that you need, and we'll definitely keep you going. Cool, cool,
And
cool, 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 cool.
and I've also shared my LinkedIn profile as well.
Yes,
If I'm happy to connect with anyone and answer any questions uh, that you would like.
awesome. Hassan Hirmizi on LinkedIn. Just go out and yeah, we'll definitely be able to reach out. Let's help you. Let's help you. So I think that's all the time that we have. Uh, and I think we've tackled mostly everybody who asked in question. So again, reach out Bonnie at maweva.com. WhatsApp +254 755 623 911. Reach out. Let's help you. Sign up for an evaluation interview so that then we can look into your particular CV, your particular situation, and also during the evaluation interview, you can go a bit deeper. And then also now after the evaluation interview, we'll be able to work with you if you need career coaching, if you need reskilling or retooling, or sometimes like someone had asked, someone is in maybe teaching and you want to get into another space. Actually, I remember sharing people who have done teaching can almost enter into a lot of many other spaces. Communication, you could get into communication, you
Yeah,
could.
if you look at Dubai, for those in the teaching arena or in the training arena, search for KHDA, Knowledge and
Mm,
Human Development
mm,
Ministry. They have a lot of jobs who require tutoring or teaching, and you can
mm,
get yourself registered with them
mm,
as a classified teacher or a
mm,
tutor, and
exactly.
I mean you can easily find a job from there.
And transition into that, you
Yeah,
know.
and
And,
then transition to that.
and
Exactly.
transition into, and that's why it's so important for guys to really join this platform because for a lot of people they just need actually to transition from one area to another. For example, if you are in communications, let's say you're in media in Africa, you could consider, going into communication, going into digital marketing, that kind of a space, because the
Yeah.
communication tools that you've acquired of a career reminds me of, Taken. Reminds me of that scene in Taken. I have a particular skill that I've learned over the long period of a long career. Skills that make me very dangerous. So you could have beautiful skills that you've acquired over a long career, but how you need maybe to adjust in how you apply them in the global market or in the Dubai market, and that's why it's so important that you reach out to us. Let's help you use your skills that you've acquired.
Lastly, what I remember, everybody has seen Pirates of the Caribbean, and what I love about Captain Jack Sparrow, I just suddenly remembered one of his lines. So he says that, or he quotes, "The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem." So if job
So
hunting
true.
feels like a storm to you, don't just wait it out. Adjust your
Mhm.
sails, and Dubai is full of treasures in it that you can uh, find out.
Awesome.
If you can keep yourself on the right path, because Dubai is a very fast moving space. So your success won't just depend on what you know. It depends how well you will adapt, connect, and show up.
Mm.
So make every move count.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, cool, great. So I think that's all the time that we have. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us. whether you joined us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, all the different platforms. Thank you so much for all the questions and everybody who engaged with us. We definitely look forward to. Yes, Patan, your parting shot.
Sorry.
I'm saying you have a parting shot before we close.
So, padding shot is the way moves fast. Blink and someone else will take the job that you're looking for. So, update your CV, fix your LinkedIn, and please stop using Comic Sans. Use career. Your career deserves better by you getting seriously into the space of
Mm,
your of developing your personal brand.
mm. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. So that's all the time we have. Join us next week, same time, same place. We'll tell you what topic we'll be handling next week, so that we can continue to inform you, inspire you, and help you take your career to the next level. And yeah, hopefully get you into that very, very competitive Dubai job market and the
Yeah.
GCC job market.
So, whatever you want us to talk about, whatever you like for us to, explain to you, talk to you about, we're all open to that. Do share what you want us to educate you more on what's missing. So drop in your topics, drop in your ideas. We would love to execute them for you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So that's all the time we have. Until next time, bye
Take
bye.
care.